welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Shuriken Sentai Ninninger review for you today. This is Deluxe Lion HaOh. This guy is massive. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this box all in frame at the same time. And even the review is going to be challenging to keep it in frame, but I'm going to do my best, show you guys. This is the box. This is the front of the box, standing up. You can see down here, Deluxe Lion HaOh. If we scroll up. Nice picture on the front. I mean, just for size comparison, this is like a Lego minifigure on top of the box. And if I bring him down, it just gives you an idea of how ridiculously massive this box is. So, this is the front. On the top, which I will do my best to show you. Pretty cool picture there, I have to say. You have the Chosetsu, I think, Chosetsu version of Aka Ninja here, and Lion HaOh, and then it has a picture of the Shuriken in the upper left corner. So if we pop this back up, we'll take a look at the side of the box. You have a picture of the Lion mode, Robot mode, Shuriken, and then down here it just kind of shows you other things that are available, Shuriken, Bison King, the other auxiliary Zords, Lion HaOh down here. Shuriken with the Ichibanto. Now I'm going to come around to this side first. This shows you the giant, massive, everything combined together mode. Oops, sorry. And if we show, it shows Shuriken plus Bison King plus Lion HaOh. You get this massive, massive thing, which we will take a look at. It's huge. So now I'm going to rotate the box because on the other side, you could probably get a better look at that. This is the Lion mode, which in itself is massive. But it's really cool. I like how they have one side of the box is, you know, the horizontal version and one side is the vertical version. Pretty cool. As far as the bottom of the box goes, not a whole lot going on there. Just shows both modes. So, we will go ahead, get this guy out of the packaging, and take a closer look. Alright, so here is Lion HaOh in lion form. Straight out of the box, you do have to attach these arms. They come separately. All you do is pop them right on, just like you're connecting any other arm to any other mecha. Everything else, I believe, comes attached. This piece comes out, and I'll try to... It's just a gold piece. It really doesn't come apart or come off anytime during the transformation. I believe it's just the reason it can come off is because to get it in the box easier because it sticks up, as you can see above. I just want to make sure that is back in there. Okay. So that's the only other piece that comes separate. And now he does have some accessories. He has, of course, the tiny Red Ranger, which I'll take a closer look at later. He also comes with this piece here, which is just his two kind of star weapons, but they peg together. Just like that. And then, of course, he comes with the Shuriken, which I'll also take a closer look at later. Just going to put these off to the side for the moment. This guy is massive. I can't impress upon you enough how gigantic this thing is. When it's in the lion mode, and I'll try to turn it around, it's very wide, but I think it looks great. It has really nice paint on the green eyes right here. Has some really nice gold chrome here and here. This mouth can open because the Red Ranger sits in there, which we'll take a closer look at later. But yeah, he's pretty massive. I mean, right now, this whole cavity in here is kind of empty because that's where Shuriken is going to sit later in the combined mode. But I mean, this is a Transformer Generations Deluxe class. He's just chilling out in there in this massive cavity just to give you some kind of perspective on how large it is. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot in this mode. He does roll very well. He's got wheels on the underneath of the arms. And of course he's got wheels underneath these treads. The back is nothing special. This is just obviously what he's going to stand on later, so it's a very large flat surface with some nice wheels. Pretty heavy duty wheels, nice hard plastic. As you can see, the paint is very good. Nice gold. Got the gray plastic with some red and gold paint. Black plastic with red. All looks very, very nice. I'll try to do a view from the top, just to show you it's just kind of a large empty cavern right there. This head is going to be used later on in the combine mode. To show you, there is some storage for these accessories in this mode. And just to make this simple, I'm going to flip this up. If you come around, and I'll pan up, right here you can store the Shuriken. As you can see, I think that looks pretty good right there. I like that there a lot. Then you can flip this back down. He will actually just ride right there. He just kind of fits in there. And then this piece kind of goes on as a tail. There's a little groove right there you can put the two handles of the blades in, and it just kind of rests. But it gives it kind of a look of a tail. Push it back a little bit. So yeah, he's massive, but I like it a lot. I think it's fun. It's definitely a large, lion-y tank type of situation we got going on here, but I think it works. It's a lot of fun. I like it. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could put, you know, one or two of the individual Otomenine in there. Just the robots, and, you know, have him cruise around in there. He's massive, but I definitely like him a lot. But we'll go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories. Alright, so the three main accessories. Here is the Red Ranger, or Aka Ninja, I should say. Looks pretty good. Not a terrible lot of detail going on. He's mostly red. He's got a little bit of paint here on the helmet. Mostly black with a little silver. Then he's got some gold trim here in the middle with a little bit of black in the center. And a little bit of gold down here. The way his legs are kind of reminds me of a Ranger key. Just because it's a solid piece. His only articulation is that he bends at the waist and at the knees so that he can sit later on. Now, even though it really looks like the arms move, they do not move. So do not break yours trying to move it. The arms do not move. Just at the waist and at the knees. But overall, it's a decent little, you know, little figure here. I heard that they are coming out with like a Super Sentai Artisan version that I think is going to come free with Rodeo Maru. Super Sentai Artisan Rodeo Maru. So I should be getting that because I did pre-order Rodeo Maru. So we'll take a look at that when that comes in, if I do in fact get that. Zooming back out here. There's not really too much to these. Just, you know, nice gold, red in the center. I don't think there's any paint. I think it's just two different types of plastic. So you can see they peg together. Not too much going on there, but they're nice swords. Not bad. Here is the Shuriken that you get. You can press the button and take this off. And because this is one, you know, a head for a mecha, this is a softer plastic than the ones that come with the Ninninger specific Shurikens. Go ahead and pop it in and click it. It does not play a sound just like the other Otomenine Shuriken, but it does have a button on the back. So those are the only two things that it says, Otomenine Shuriken, and then this little fanfare music. Which is kind of cool. But that's pretty much it for this thing. Not too much going on. Has a little bit of silver there on the front. But I did get, because I pre-ordered this ahead of time and I got the first wave, I did get the Promotional Shuriken, so I wanted to take a look at that as well. This is like the Gatai Shuriken. Again, you can press the button and take it off. This one is a little bit more solid, but still a little flimsy. Definitely not as hard as like the Ninninger Shuriken. But we'll go ahead and pop this on. So when you first plug it in, this one does make a sound as opposed to the previous one. It says Gatai Nin Shuriken, and then it's got a couple buttons or presses here on the back. Well, it just has one button, but multiple times. So that's basically all it does. It does not have a light here. This is just a sticker. But it's neat. I think it's cool that they made this because there was another one where I think it was the same face but a yellow blade, and that was for just Shurikenjin and Bison King to merge together, and they didn't bother making that one. Not a promotional one, not a retail release, so it's nice to at least get one of these. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the two Shuriken with the Ichibanto. Alright, so we have the Ichibanto here. I'm going to take a look at this one first, because this one kind of matches up. Turning this on. If you go ahead and pop this on. So if you press this button, so that one kind of matches up. I mean, if you just spin it. So pressing the trigger really just alternates between the two phrases, and if you line it up right, it does work with the summoning button, but that's really about all that does. This one, on the other hand, pop it on. Oh. So this will do the roll call just like a normal Ninninger Shuriken. So if you press the first one, so that one will line up if you just keep spinning it. So anytime you spin it, it's just going to do the roll call. Otherwise, when you press the button, it's just going to cycle through the phrases. So it doesn't really line up with either of these two buttons. It unfortunately doesn't really do a whole lot with the Ichibanto. So you have a little bit of compatibility where this will kind of line up with the first button, and then this one will kind of line up with the third one as long as you time it and cue up the right phrase. So they're cool Shuriken, but they don't really do a whole lot with the Ichibanto. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this guy's robot mode. I'm going to do my best to keep him in frame, but it's going to be difficult. The first thing you're going to do is just start by standing him up. Very simple. Rotate it around. And then I'm going to pan up so we can actually see his face. At this point, you can rotate the hands down. And they'll just rotate and you'll kind of hear them click into place. There we go. This part will unpeg. And then the whole thing you can see will rotate down and then peg into the front here. Just like that. If you had the Shuriken pegged in there for storage in the lion mode, you want to make sure to unpeg that first, because obviously it's not going to fit with the shuriken in the way. You can go ahead and bring this down. You can bring in your little Red Ranger, bend him at the waist and the knees, and then he just kind of... Get in there, you. He just kind of sits in there just like that. Then you're going to go ahead and take your 2 star swords, and you can just go ahead and plug them into both of the hands. There you go. Then you're going to bring in the shuriken, and I'll try to bring him a little forward so you can see this. As you can see, you don't really do much with the legs after you stand them up. So we're going to stay up here. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if it's the button in the shuriken or the peg is a little weird, but it doesn't play the sound for me immediately. I kind of have to wiggle it. So it plays pretty cool music there. I like that a lot. The first time I plugged it in, I thought it was broken, so I started to panic, and then I played with the pin. And I don't know if this will be like this for anybody else. The pin inside the 2 little holes, and I'll take it off to show you. You know how these work when you connect it. There's a little button on inside of these holes, and the little peg that sticks up right here hits that button and makes it play the sound. But for some reason on mine, I don't know if the button sticks or if the peg's not big enough. I think the peg's fine. I think it's just a little finicky. But the important thing is I can get it to work. So if anyone else has a similar problem like that, just, try to wiggle it a little bit, see if it works. But I really like this robot mode. It's crazy. It's huge. It's definitely a brick. But I kind of really like it. I mean, the legs are definitely a brick. There's nothing to it. But I don't know. I love the coloring. I love the way that this sits so flushly with the chest, the lion head, that it looks like it was meant to be there the whole time. It just looks perfect. The chrome's really nice. If you press the button again on the top, just kind of does that again. If you want to take a look at the side and the back is obviously very empty, very brickish, and very reminiscent of what's to come. So that's pretty much it for the Lion HaOh robot mode. Definitely a brick, but I kind of really like it a lot. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the combination of Shuriken, Bison King, and Lion HaOh. Alright, so I'm going to show you the massive combination of all 3 of these giant mech. I'm going to go ahead and just remove these from the station for right now. Stay there. And we're going to get this guy ready. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to remove the little Red Ranger and close the mouth up and remove the shuriken. You're going to turn this part 180 degrees so that it's just like that. And that's kind of, you're going to be done with him for the moment. You're going to bring in Bison King, remove his gun. You're going to separate him in the midsection here, basically where the brown meets the white, just like that. And you're going to, if you're like me and you have your Bison King like that in the back, you're going to need to undo that so that it sits out like it's supposed to normally. And then you're going to want to just bring the hands straight back. And that's really all you do with this section of Bison King. So we're going to set that to the side for a sec. Come back to this part. Remove the gray piece. Separate the legs and put them off to the side. You're going to come around to the back. This gray piece is actually going to fit underneath here. There's a little connector. And this piece right here is going to connect onto that. So there you go, just like that. You're going to come back around. Well, actually, before you do that, all of Bison King, these two connectors right here are going to peg in right here and here. And then these two connectors down here will peg in down here and here. So it's kind of a shame, but most of Bison King just kind of hangs off the back. And I have to believe that this is just to counterbalance it, because you're about to put Shuriken in here, and that's going to get awful heavy. So I'm assuming, one, it's just a place to stick them, and two, it's a place to, you know, give some counterbalance. You're going to bring Shuriken in. You're going to remove the sword. You're going to remove the shield. Put the arms straight out. You have to make sure that the dragon's hands are pointing straight up. And then you're going to bend him at the knees to get him into a sitting position so that he looks just like that. But before you put him in, you can actually, right here, there's a little connector. I know it's going to be impossible to see. Try to get the hand out of the way. Right here, there's a little connector that you can actually put this on the side. And so that kind of just like sits off to the side, almost kind of like he has the sword on his hip. And you're going to do the same thing with Bison King's gun. And it's really just kind of more storage just to get them out of the way. But it's kind of cool. It's almost like they have them in holsters, like ready to go. You can also take the shield, and you can plug that into the two clips right here and here. What is he doing? No, okay, that's in. So then you have the shield on his hand. Then you're going to want to flip these two down. And then you're going to bring in Shuriken. This port on his back is going to plug right into there. So you just slide him straight in. Oh, Bison King's gun fell off. Easy enough to fix. Then you're just going to rotate these back up. And just kind of lift the hands just a tiny bit, just to put him in there. So much easier to get his hands into these than it is to get his hands into these. So, you're pretty much there. You're going to bring in your Shuriken again. Now, as you can see, and I'll try to get a little bit closer. This is actually the visor of the robot here. And I know the light's probably bleeding that out, but this red here is the visor, and this is the bottom of the mouth. So you're going to put the Shuriken on, but you're going to leave the head flipped, you know, so you're not going to flip it out like in the regular robot mode. Then you're just going to plug it in. So I really like that fanfare music. Now I did forget one step. The legs of Bison King. This one that has the brown piece is going to peg into this hand here. And the other one is going to peg into this hand here. And it kind of just gives him massive guns. You can also take the Red Ranger. And he has a hole on the bottom right here. And there is a little peg right here on the top. So you can make it like he's sitting on top. So, as you can see, this guy is absolutely massive. I'm going to try to pan down and get a decent look at him. Still not much going on in the feet area, but you can see Shuriken is sitting inside, which I think is absolutely awesome. He's got these massive guns. And then I'll try to zoom in here. You can see the head. Very, very cool. I'll also try to do a little bit of a 360 here. So as you can see from the side, he's got the massive legs of Bison King in here as guns, shield on the side, and then if you pan down, you just have a lot of Bison King hanging here off the back. It's a little goofy. Oh, knocking him off. But like I said, I understand they were just trying to store him somewhere because they didn't want to just say, well, you're only using half the robot. And also, I really do think that his weight on the back is to counterbalance all the weight in the front. I mean, this guy is an absolute massive brick, but for some reason, it works for me. I can't really explain it. It's just a lot of fun. I think it's the fact that there's a robot in the chest of a robot in the chest of a robot. It's just so meta, and this guy is controlling this guy, he's controlling this guy. Plus, you have three really cool mecha all merging together. It's just a lot of fun. It's the goofy, crazy combination from Sentai that we're kind of used to. I just love it. I don't know. I can't put it into words. It's definitely weird. It probably shouldn't work, but at least for me, it totally does. So I think this guy is definitely a lot of fun. He's ridiculously huge, especially for a Sentai mecha. He's definitely even bigger than like HaOh that we got last year, or Bragigas the year before. He's just super massive, but I love him. I have no idea where I'm going to put him because he is so fantastically huge, but he's definitely a lot of fun. I got this one on Hobby Link Japan. I think it was somewhere in the area of like $65 to $70 before shipping. I think the normal retail price is more like $80 to $90 before shipping, but Hobby Link sells stuff for a little bit cheaper. So if you're looking for this guy, I would definitely suggest trying there just to save you a couple bucks because this guy is massive. Now, if you don't mind waiting a long time, he might get even more cheaper, more cheap or cheaper, haha. Anyway, he definitely will probably get cheaper. Since he's so huge, he'll probably become a bit of a shelf warmer. HaOh last year started at like between 80 to 100 and shipping was so much, and now you can go find them on Amazon with Prime for $50. It's ridiculous. I got a deal on mine and I thought that was good, and it's like $20 cheaper now. So I don't know. If you're willing to wait, this guy might drop like a stone. Only time will tell. He might not. I definitely think he's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm glad I got one. Because I got it right away, I did get that bonus Shuriken. But I have to say, the bonus Shuriken is not that spectacular. It's neat. I always like having, you know, promotional items. It's extra stuff that's not that easy to get later on if you change your mind. So I like that I have it, but it's not that great. It has a couple cool phrases. It doesn't really have any, you know, it doesn't match up with the Ichibanto or anything like that. But it's cool to have. Anyway, I love this guy. I recommend him. If you wanted to wait until the price went down a little bit, I wouldn't blame you. But like I said, it might not. So that's a gamble you kind of have to give a shot if you want to. In any case, I'm rambling at this point. So I love this guy. I recommend him. You know, if you have any questions or if you know, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you think he's just too big, you know, if you have him too and you think he's a lot of fun, whatever you want to say about this guy or you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Deluxe Lion HaOh from Shuriken Sentai Ninninger, and thanks for watching.